me, then you better put a ring on it. If you like me, then you better put a ring on it. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. Whoa, uh-oh. Yes, put a ring on it with Dr. Nicole, honey, is back for season 2. What's up? How you doing, Ray of Sunshines? I am your girl, Talisa Ray, lifestyle coach, and we are reviewing Put a Ring on It, season 2, episode number 1, numero uno. But let's get into this piping hot tea real quick. I mean the 30-day detox that I'm on through TEAMI. It's 2 teas that you drink alternating days. It's a skinny tea and a colon tea. And I know when people think detox, you think, oh, you're trying to lose some weight. I mean, ain't we always trying to lose some weight? But a detox essentially is so that you clean your bloodstream, clean your intestines, clean your stomach, you know, clean your colon, get rid of all the bacteria and the things that mean you harm, not good, so that when you do start your new lifestyle, eating clean and working out, it is more effective. You don't have all those toxins just living in your body. So I've been doing it for 7 days, and I'm gonna just be honest with you, I'm detoxing. The toxins are going out, they are being removed from my system. If you want to join me in this next 30 days that I'm in, because I am going to come back and give you an update, I have a discount code just for you. Join me. Get you a starter kit, get you the stuff by itself. I also have a link with an entire video down in the description box giving you more details about the tea and how it has been affecting me, okay? This is my free little tumbler that came with my starter kit. Anyway, let's start talking about what y'all really want. Can't touch, what y'all really need is right here with me. Y'all know that? Okay, I'm serious. Let's go. Okay, so just as a refresher, the premise of the show is these people have been in long-term relationships and one party or the other wants to move forward and get married. So they are going to date other people while seeing the fabulous, the infamous master relationship coach, Dr. Nicole. Listen, they go on dates with other people. I mean, I know I asked you last season, but do you think that that's something that you could do? Could you date other people while you were in a committed relationship? I'm doing quotations in the air, but they really are in committed relationships. I mean, I think I could. I think I could. Okay, so let's talk about our 3 couples this season. The first of the 3 we're gonna talk about is Darian and Alexia. Darian and Alexia. Alexia is a retired professional basketball player. She played overseas, honey. Listen, homegirl got game. Then you have Darian, who was part of Field Mob. His name was Smoke. Listen, I ain't know who he was. I ain't gonna even lie to you. So I said, let me go over here. Let me go see who these people. And then I was like, oh, that's who he is. He ain't nothing but a thug. He's selling them drugs. So what? So what? So what? I'm off, okay? So what? That's the only part I know, which is Sierra's chorus. But okay, now I'm familiar with what group he is in. They have been in a relationship for 14 years, on again, off again, on again, off again, on again, off again. It's a lot to unpack with that alone by itself, okay? Because number one, why do y'all keep coming back together? What is the off about? What is the off about? 14 years is a long time to be like teeter-tottering on a seesaw in a relationship with anybody. I mean, listen. I always think about, why were you off? Like, what are the reasons that you guys were off in that 14 years? And when you get back on, did those things about the person change? Did they work on themselves? Did they do healing? Did they do the self-work required that you were requesting? Or didn't you ask for anything? Or you just was like, I'm gonna just give him a break and then he can come back, or her, because it could have been him. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. What we found out is that they met while she was in college. She was working at a club. They hit it off immediately, and they were like kissing in a club like in the first 20 minutes. Like she was a waitress or whatever. And I just want to know, y'all ain't never, because I know y'all side-eyeing. Y'all was probably like, oh, I can't believe she did that. Child, she was in college and she was free with no responsibilities. Y'all ain't never had a good time? Y'all ain't never had a good time. Like, I've had a good time and never seen them again, okay? Had a good time. She just happened to hold on for 14 years, on again, off again, on again, off again. He admits that she treats him like a king. And so I'm just really like, well, what's the problem, sir? Why don't you want to get married, sir? But his thing is, he doesn't want to feel pressured to do it. He wants it to be natural, to flow. And then he's seen so many marriages happen and fail that that's not what he wants in this relationship with beautiful Alexia. Now let's talk about real quick Sean and LaRonda, who have been together for 3 years. 3 years is not a long time, but it is a long time. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's borderline. I'm at 3 years. What we gonna do? Like at about 2 years, women are like, are you about to give me a ring or no? Especially if they want to be married and they're marriage minded. Right about then, they like, hey yo, what's up? Like, what's up? Is we still playing house? We boyfriend, girlfriend? What are we doing? When are we leveling up? Anyway, she says he slid up in her DMs and was like, hey yo, shorty, let me holler at you. Let me take you out. And the rest was history. The reason that he doesn't want to get married is because he's not stable. He feels like he needs to do more, have more. He wants to be able to provide. Like, I mean, that is the plight of a lot of people, men in particular. The reason they don't want to move forward is because they don't feel like they've reached the level of the type of man that they want to be, where they can provide for their family, provide, protect, you know, and I can understand that, right? I mean, it makes sense. The reasoning behind what he's saying makes sense. Like, I don't want to marry you and then finances be our issue and that be the reason we get divorced. Like, we know infidelity and finances are two of the biggest things that stop people from being together, that make them get divorced. Two big things. So, I mean, I hear what he's saying, but I need to hear more. I need to see more about what's happening between the two of them. Then the last couple, honey, is Eric and Jessica. First off, Eric, can we cut our hair? I mean, it's thinning at the top. Like, it's not even like where your hairline is back far, because you still got a hairline. It's like all thinning, and it's thinning in here. And if you think you are as handsome as you seem to think you are, then you should be able to rock a bald head with no problem. Stop holding on to that. I mean, but who am I? I'm not a man who's losing my hair. And if I was losing my hair in that manner as a woman, I could get a wig. So there's that, right? Eric and Jessica also met on the gram. He slid into her DMs. They have been together for about 4 years. Hey, yo, check this out. He is a retired or ex-NFL player. I don't want to say retired because he might have got booted off the team. So he's an ex-NFL player. She says that he took her to do fun stuff, rock climbing, go-kart riding. And fellas, let me tell you something. Doing something outside of the box other than movies and dinner and all of that is a plus. Black women want to do stuff too. We want to go have a good time. We want to be adventurous too. Think about that. Don't think we just want to go walk around and hold your hand and go to a movie. That's not what we want to do. She said that he is her soulmate, and she knew from the moment she met him that she loved him or his money. Because I can't understand how on day one you smitten and in love on day one. Maybe you knew each other in another lifetime, and then your souls recognize one another, and that's why you feel that way. Look at me trying to give her some grace. He talking about she completes him. he's her homie, she's his homie, lover, friend. And as she completes him, and I'm all like, yo, I feel like you should be complete before you even go and holler at somebody else. I don't need you to put a puzzle with me. I think that you align, that we are two whole people and that we come together. But I guess that's what he means. Jessica also is kind of jealous and territorial. She feels like he wants to be out with the homies and in the streets, that he's missing out on something. Cause you know, he at home with his girl. That's out of her mouth. Well, like I said, the premise is we about to date other people. Now, the first exercise Dr. Nicole has them do is get out a piece of paper, yo, and write down your rules. Set your boundaries. What is it that you don't want them to do on these dates? Say that. Write it all down and share it with us aloud. LaRonda is all no kissing, no groping of the butt or the breast. Like, pretty much that's everybody's theme. Everybody is saying no kissing, no touching, no phone contacts. Like, I don't have to go through each of these people because they all kind of saying the same thing. And I like how Dr. Nicole was like, okay, that's great and everything, but this time there are no rules. We are not setting any boundaries. So rip that paper up and forget everything that you just wrote. Because those boundaries that you are setting are set out of fear. Hello, somebody. Like, I love how she just breaks it down and shares it with them. Like, you are telling them that you don't want them to kiss, touch, you know, have extra outside conversations and texts, but that's what you came on here and signed up for. This is the second season, so you are well aware that they are going to be dating. And the purpose is to make sure that you want to be in this relationship, that you want to move forward, that this is the person that you want to be with. And in order to determine that is for you to go out and date other people. Because a lot of us only date one person, be focused solely on that one person versus dating and getting to know several people. And then not to mention they have been in these relationships for X amount of years. And so, you know, things might have gotten a little stale. So here, go ahead and see if I'm what you want. And the reason why we are not going to set any boundaries is because this is an exercise in trust. This is giving them the freedom to make the choices that they want to do, and it's going to help them make informed decisions. Eric says, after hearing this, Eric says, you know, relationships are built on rules. No, sir, they're not. That's probably why your relationship isn't working. That's also probably the energy you're feeding her and you don't realize it and you just think she's jealous and territorial. However, relationships are built on a foundation of trust. You are going to have to trust that your partner is going to make the best decision for them when keeping you in mind, your best interest in mind as well. But most importantly and foremost, for themselves. And you have to realize that if their decisions do not include you anymore, then that is the best decision for them, and you're gonna have to just process that and move forward. But the basic foundation of any relationship is TRUST, okay? Then RESPECT, find out what it means to me. Just a little bit, respect, just a little bit. And I always try and remind my clients that you chose them. You agreed to the terms of the agreement because you decide how your relationship is going to flow, what works best for your relationship. You decide together. So you chose this person, and so you're going to have to trust their judgment and the decisions that they make. And if their decisions no longer align with the things that you want, I think you better let them go. It looks like another love TKO, but that's too soon right now to even think about that. So we find out that the men go on dates first, and not only do they go on dates first, they go on dates today. The same day that they meet the fabulous Dr. Nicole. They get to go home and change their clothes because their dates is coming to knock, knock, knock on their door, okay? Listen, so the first person we see going out on a date is Eric. And you know, she's a little uncomfortable. I mean, wouldn't you be a little uncomfortable, a little nervous, especially when you haven't done the work? Especially when you have a little when you have some insecurities, especially when, you know, you feel like your confidence has been knocked down, or he has been doing some things that we find out momentarily. Eric's date is the absolutely gorgeous Shamara. And when I looked at her, I thought to myself, she is on the same order of his current girlfriend, Jessica. But I mean, she's gorgeous, honey. Gorgeous, makeup flawless. She says, you know what, my next step is I want a husband. Okay, well, I don't know if these the men that you want to go to, because they can't even commit to the women that they with, let alone a new one. Hold on, Talisa. She comes in, she meets Jessica, and Jessica's like, hey, yo, you got a curfew, you need to be home in an hour. Like, we not gonna play this game, you're not gonna be out hanging out. Because her fear is that he gonna smooth talk her the way that he did to her. Like, I don't want to lose him, because he's got the gift of gab. He knows how to say what you need to hear when you need to hear it. They go and they have drinks, and Shamara says, you know, what's going on in your relationship? What's happening? Like, I think that's a question that the producers would ask, because in real life, you would not be sitting there asking what's happening with your relationship. I don't know, y'all might. I know I wouldn't. In real life, I wouldn't. So I feel like the producers are asking. But if you watch me on Ready to Love, you know how I feel about that anyway. He shares then with her that, you know, Jessica was one of many. He dated several people. Shamara said, you know what, that wouldn't work for me. I would need you to tell me the truth. And typical man, women say they want to know the truth, but they can't handle the truth. You don't know how much truth we can handle until you start telling us the truth. Come out with the fact that, you know, I'm dating other people. I just want to smash. You know, I'm just hanging out. You know, and if that's what you want to do, I'm not ready for a relationship right now. And I don't know when I'm going to be. Like, come out with that and see what we say. Because either we're going to go along with it, or we are going to say goodbye. But I guarantee you that there is someone who also feels the same way as you do. Do not underestimate us as women. We can handle the truth when the truth is given to us in the beginning. It is when it is later revealed and originally it was deceit that we cannot handle the truth. That's when things get all chaotic. So allow us the opportunity. Eric asked her, if we were together hypothetically, how long would you, before, you know, whatever, how long when would you expect me to propose? I think that's how it says. And she's like, I wouldn't be pressuring you for that, because I wouldn't want to do that. I want it to be natural. All I want to say is, girl, how you know? Have you ever been in a relationship with someone too long and started asking? Like, you don't know until you've been in there. I have not. But I'm just saying, while we passing judgment on people who be like, oh, I wouldn't be asking no man or whatever. We don't know until we there. We don't know until we actually experience it. You know, especially if you want to be with somebody. We don't know. But I do know this. I ain't gonna stay around long enough for me to have to ask you. You know what you want. He says that Shamara is pretty, and you know, he asks her for a hug, and it's a real hug, you know. Then you see Darian and Alexia. Alexia tells him to have fun, but understand that there are consequences. Kai, honey, has a body. She's 32 and she comes in. Again, lots of similarities in the way she looks with Alexia. I was like, Kai seems very sweet and considerate, but also very sneaky and sly. Like, I better watch you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the vibe she gave me when she introduced herself to Alexia. Let's just go right into their date and then come back and talk about Deshaun's date. Or Deshaun, his name is Deshaun. Sean's date. I'm all like, they holding hands already. He walking with his arm around her shoulders already. I just met you on day one. You sure are comfortable. You sure are comfortable. Listen, but there is something about energy sometimes that does that to you. The level of comfortability about a person that makes you feel like you have that kind of range. But yo, like, you just left your girl. You like, but take all the limits off so that you can experience this in its entirety. When they sit down and they start talking, I'm all like, he goes straight into his portfolio, how he did music, and the last album he did was 2009. Sir, quit living in the past. Sir, what have you done lately? Sir, I don't give a damn about your past notoriety or celebrity. I don't know, that's not a word. During the date, I felt like he was a little too extra, a little too animated, and he tells her some stuff like, oh, you know, you fit the mold of someone who a celebrity would want to be with. And she's like, no, I'm just a country girl. Listen, when you become a certain age and you've got a certain stature and you've got some things going for yourself and you know who you are and you know you value yourself and your worth and all that, dating a celebrity, a former celebrity, a billionaire, that don't faze you. I mean, it might be a nice to have, but that is not like, oh, I'm winning because I'm with somebody who's a has-been, sir. I'm being too harsh, huh? I'm being too harsh. I'm being too harsh. She asked him if he's a cheater, or no, I'm not sure. However it went, he says he's not a cheater. She says me either. She asks, are you afraid to express yourself? Do you express yourself? And he's all like, no, I'm not afraid to express myself. Me and my girl kissed the first time we met. Like, he opened himself up for, if I kiss you now, what would you do? He opened himself up. He opened that can like, pop, what would you do? But I was really like for her assertiveness. For her saying, you know, hey, I dig you. Do you dig me too? What would you do? Like, put him on the spot. How much do you love your girl? You here? I mean, you trying to figure it out and I'm trying to help you, sir. Like, that's the vibe I got from Kai. For me, it is always the responsibility of the committed party to act accordingly, to guide and steer the direction of how things should go in this scenario. Okay, that's how I feel. Honey, when she asked him, do you want to be free with me? I almost fell out. Like, she has not come to play. So Sean is taking his date hiking. When Rachel, who's, you know, cute as a button, comes to the door, he gives her a hug and LaRonda said, oh yeah, we hugging? And she hugs too. I'm all like, okay, she like is projecting overly confident, because you ain't had to hug that girl. You didn't know her from Adam. That ain't your friend. You just met her. You supposed to say hello, hey, how you doing? Y'all have a good time. You ain't even gotta say you have a good time. You ain't even gotta come to the door. But I know the premise is I need to see what you look like. She didn't have to hug him. I thought that to hug her, I probably would have felt uncomfortable. But the girl was like, oh, y'all so nice. I was like, oh, you so naive. So it seems like they vibing in the car. You know, they start talking about like what they do and who they are. And then, you know, Rachel goes right into like a VJ vibe. Like, caller, you know, who's a caller on the line? You know, what's going on in your relationship? It was really cute because he used to be a radio disc jockey. And so I thought that that was a cute play. And she was very natural. And it felt very seamless for me, for them. When they were walking, she, of course, asked about his relationship with LaRonda. And he says, communication is an issue. I don't know if he tells her that or he just tells us that in his diary cam confessional thing. But he says that communication is an issue and that he wants her to be more open and honest and be able to have conversations and show emotion and express herself. I think he was talking to us because he had said that Rachel seemed too perfect because she was easy to talk to. She shared with us that she's a Leo, and I was like, she definitely is Leo. So when Darian comes back from his date, he starts to tell Alexia about the date. But the way he's sharing with her feels like an overshare for me. It's almost like borderline disrespectful because of the things that he's saying. Talks about how she looks good and she smells good, and then the one with all that breast and the one with all that booty. Like, those small details probably could have been left out, and I could understand why Alexia got her ass up and was like, I'm not gonna fucking listen to this. Like, I could understand completely why she would move that way, because you didn't have to do all that. You could have said, you know, she was nice, we had great conversation. You know, I missed this. I realized I missed that part of our relationship. Like, it's a way to share how you're feeling, because I think that that's where he was trying to go, but couldn't get there because he was so stuck on the aesthetics of Kai versus what it was that he liked about the actual afternoon. Oh, and he was like, you know, because she kept saying, well, like, well, what happened? Well, you know, she ain't like that. And I thought to myself, hello, representative. No, she ain't like that. You just met her today. So the person you are meeting is not her full authentic self normally. Not everybody knows how to show up as their whole ass self. Like, I try and pride myself on showing up as who I am all the damn time. And a lot of times when you go on a first date, second, third, fourth, honey, fifth, seventh, 10th dates, people are still showing up with their representatives. So how you finna compare me? I've been with you for 14 years. You just, well, on again, off again. You just met this girl yesterday. Don't go comparing me. I totally get how she was feeling. He told her I could have done a lot of things. And she said, well, you should have did them. I probably would have had the same response. Like, don't come for me, sir. Don't come for me, sir. I definitely want you to share the date with me. Share your experience. But I really felt that that was borderline disrespectful. Her booty, her breasts. You know, she smelled good, she looked good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a bit much. We get back to Dr. Nicole, honey, and we about to get some wisdom and knowledge dropped upon us. As soon as you walk in there with her, honey, I feel like the energy changes. Like, y'all finna learn something. The way she sits and stuff, you know she's about to give you some information that is going to help you in your relationship. And so this is when Darian says, because she says, how was your date? And he said he had a good time, and it reminded me of what I'm missing, the flirting, the laughing, that kind of energy. And that is the shit that he should have shared. Like, that's what he should have said. Not her booty and her beauty and her booty. No, sir. Like, I missed that energy. The way he articulated it there would have worked better for him at home. Even though she may not have wanted to hear it. She shares that she was offended about the comparison, and Dr. Nicole said this. Listen, if you don't want to hear about the dates, tell him you don't want to hear about the dates. It's cool, especially if you don't want to hear about all the nuances and whatnot. But I want you to consider this. You stifling them sharing now, where else is that showing up? Are you shutting them down in other spaces? Are you unable to listen and communicate healthy, in a healthy manner, to resolve issues, etc.? Like, people don't want to communicate with you if they don't think you're listening. Did I tell you she was gonna drop some knowledge? I dropped a bomb on you. Honey, I want you to know that Alexia was sitting there like, and like, yes, girl. Yes, girl. Eric shares that Shamara was pretty, that the conversation was nice and easy and flowing, but he doesn't get that in his current relationship with Jessica unless they've had a couple of drinks. He's so full of himself that he had to add, if I was single, I could have went all the way, you know, could have took it to another level, and it been, you know, would have came back the next morning. Like, I understand why Jessica was uncomfortable and her insecurities were showing, even though he wasn't saying that that's what he wanted to do. He was saying that he had the ability, that he knew he still had it, like it stroked his ego. But I totally understood where she was coming from, and not that it's healthy. And the reason that she feels so insecure and bothered by that and feels like he just wants to smash and he for the streets is because of her insecurities from when they first dated, when they first started dating, and he was out there for the streets. He was out there, you know, being a whole asshole. So I understand how her mind took her there, because why she's not healed from the past indiscretions that Eric had in the beginning of their relationship. So she has to do some healing to even move forward to get to a place of marriage. And I would have to say Eric is correct in saying that Jessica is not quite ready to be married because of the simple fact that she has some work to do. But so does he. Because did you really have to say that? Like, you knew that that was gonna tick her off. But You wanted this man as a showboat, you know, big boasty energy. I'm that man. I gotta wear all my jewelry with my Gucci belt. I gotta be flashy. That's the man that you chose. So when we choose these men, we decide to be with them, we have to be mindful of what we can handle and what will compliment us, okay? Girl, keep in mind you are absolutely gorgeous and you look better than him, and you could leave him today, heal, do some work on yourself, do some reflection, some shadow work, some praying, whatever it is that you do, meditating, yoga, exercising, hang out with your girlfriend, smash some shit, all of that stuff. You could do all that and you will bounce back just fine, okay? He is not the end all be all. I got my nerve. We all have that option. None of us are the end all be all. Dr. Nicole says this to her, which I love. You are operating in your feelings. She said it last year. You are operating in your feelings, and feelings are not facts. They are not facts. He did not say that he wanted to be with someone else, that he wanted to be out in the streets. Those were not the words that he used, but that is how you're feeling, and now you have interpreted those feelings and made them into facts. Manage what you feel, how you feel. Listen! If that's not a word, manage how you feel. Because we will, in our mind, create whole scenarios and go off on a tangent. And that's not even what it is. Manage how you feel. How much of this is based in reality and what's really happening and what they are really saying. Like, come through, Dr. Nicole. Come through, Dr. Nicole. When she talked to Sean, Sean said, you know what, I realized that I can trust myself around a beautiful woman. That I'm not going to be like, oh, holla at me. Get at me. You know, because evidently he's scared that that's who he is. And so, you know, what's her name? LaRonda says, you know, decisions are constant. Make sure you understand your decisions have consequences. Dr. Nicole is like, that is a way to control. As a reminder that anything you can do, I can do better. Anything I can do better than you. Like, that is exactly what she's saying. So be mindful of how you're trying to control a situation. So it's time to make the decisions. Eric is like, you know what? Shamar is pretty and everything, but I want to go with someone different. I mean, and Jessica's over there beaming like that was a good thing. The reason he's not going out with Shamara again is because he's saying she's just like Jessica. It's gonna give me the same thing. Like, I need something different. If it's gonna challenge me, that's what I need. She's smiling for the wrong reasons because Dr. Nicole heard that, and she gonna give him someone different. I guarantee you that is going to touch different buttons of his, that's gonna pique his interest in a different kind of way. Sean said no for Rachel, like she was too perfect for him and he didn't want to jeopardize that relationship. And here come LaRonda talking about some, well, if she's perfect, so perfect, I would think that you would want to continue to see her. Good thing it's not your decision, that is mine. I kind of like the fact that he was like, I know that I would like her a lot. And so I don't want to put what I have, this great thing that I have with this woman that I love, right, on the line, because I could potentially walk away from something good. And that's not what I want, because I want to be with this woman. Right? That's how I read that. Like, and she was like, if you wanted to, calm down, girl, calm down. Like, rub his hand, be like, okay, babe. Because that was well thought out. Like, he knows what his boundaries are with women. And so at least that's how it's reading right now. We don't know what it's going to read in a couple weeks. And then Darian shares that it was frightening how much he enjoyed himself. He forgot how good it felt. He didn't tell us. They didn't tell us what his decision is. But based on what we see from the snippets going forward, baby, he going out with her again. On several dates is what it seems like. From what I can tell, he's gonna continue to go out with her. Y'all, let me know what you think down below in the comments about this episode. Are you excited about this season? I am, because they are doing a lot of things different. They are pulling out all kind of stops, shaking up the bag, honey, and I'm glad for it, because last season, y'all know I fell off. Like, because it wasn't holding my interest. I was like, what are we doing? But I'm excited to see where this season is going. I am your girl, Talisa Ray. Thank you so much for watching my review of Put a Ring on It, Season 2, Episode number 1. If it is your first time visiting my channel, there's that red rectangle. It says subscribe. Click it. Become a ray of sunshine. Click the notification bell and click the alert for all so you're notified of when I upload new videos. Yes, 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 yes. Share it with your friends. Give me a thumbs up. Like it so that I know it's real and that you like me. I mean, you're watching and you're gonna come back. I mean, I'm just putting it out there. You're coming back. Look into my eyes. I love you in real life and want every good thing that God has in store for you, even if you don't know what that is for yourself. Hugs and kisses and lots of love. I'll catch you on the next review.